Welcome back to Global Affairs with Greg Ayers. Today, I'm discussing the international export market for armed drones. Once the sole territory of the United States, with the MQ-1 Predator drone coming online in the late 1990s and first seeing action just 1 month after 9/11 in a targeted strike on Mullah Omar, armed drones are now commonplace throughout today's modern battle spaces. And the seminal moment really arrives in 2020 in the conflict over Nagorno-Karabakh, where Azerbaijan uses to tremendous effect armed drones, particularly the Bayraktar TB2 sourced from Turkey and other armed drones sourced from Israel to win a quick military victory over Armenia and seize the territory that they had long sought after in Nagorno-Karabakh. This decisive, quick, relatively cheap military victory that generated excellent propaganda for their Azerbaijanis and demonstrated the military effectiveness of armed drones in modern conflict is a seminal turning point for military and political planners as they now look to re-examine the security environment in which they find themselves. I examine the impact of cheap armed drones across the world today, with cheap armed drones on offer from China, the CH series and the Wing Lungs, the Bayraktar TB2s from Turkey, the Heron and the Hermes, available from Israel, the MQ-9 Reaper on the more expensive side, available to from the United States, stronger NATO allies or NATO partnered allies, as well as some cheaper offerings available from Iran, Ukraine, and Russia. But the fact is, armed drones are here to stay because they've proved so decisive in modern battle spaces across North Africa, places like Libya, throughout the Middle East, in Syria, Iraq, and in Eurasia, and the Crimean conflict, as well as Azerbaijan and Armenia's conflict in Nagorno-Karabakh. So I examined the role that armed drones might play in reigniting 5 distinct conflicts or spurning 5 conflicts further on forward. I take particular attention to look at the Tigray region in Ethiopia as a case study to show that even some of the poorest nations in the world can afford this technology. Ethiopia, with a per capita GDP under $1,000 per person, is able to source Wing Lung 2s and some other cheaper Iranian drones to target the Tigrays, a separatist group in the north. I look at Crimea, where Russia's investments and subsequent production of armed drones may prove decisive and may provide the necessary political cover for a second offensive into Crimea, whereas Ukraine has had relatively little success and relies on extremely cheap armed unmanned aerial vehicles for their defense. I look at conflict in Kashmir, where India's purchase of 30 MQ-9 Reapers may prove decisive in changing New Delhi's calculus, in being more assertive in that area. I look at the conflict in Syria. I look at a number of conflicts throughout the world and trying to imagine how the advancement of these cheap armed military drones are going to change conflicts. This is a very decisive topic we're going to look a lot more forward going into. For other news and global affairs, stay tuned to this channel. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can find all of our content, always original, at the website www.globalaffairswithgregayers.com. Stay tuned, stay well, and stay here for your top global affairs news.